Hold your huskies. Picture this. You're trekking through the Alaskan wilderness, sunlight filtering through towering pines. Suddenly you hear a low growl. Peeking through the brush, you see it. A massive Siberian tiger, stripes blazing against the snow. Sounds like a scene straight out of a Hollywood thriller, right? Well, hold your sled dogs for a second because the truth might just surprise you. Rumors of tigers roaming Alaska have been swirling for years, whispered around campfires and shared on social media. Some folks claim to have seen these majestic predators with their own two eyes. Others swear by blurry photos and mysterious paw prints. But could these stories really be true? Could a creature known for prowling Asian jungles and Siberian forests actually survive in the land of the midnight sun? Let's dig in and separate fact from fiction, shall we?
Before we continue further, hey, it's Olivia here, and I am a big fan of animals, and I do upload videos every day regarding wild animals and nature. So don't waste your time, please do subscribe and click on bell notification so you guys don't miss my everyday enthusiastic animal videos. Thank you.
We're about to embark on a wild ride through the world of tiger lore, habitat science, and the power of a good yarn. Get ready to explore the fascinating and sometimes unbelievable world of wildlife rumors. By the time we're done, you'll have a whole new appreciation for both the power of nature and the stories we tell about it. So grab your muck boots and a healthy dose of skepticism. We're going in. So how did this whole tigers in Alaska thing get started anyway? Like most good mysteries, there's no single smoking gun. It's more like a campfire with sparks flying off in every direction. Some folks point to escaped circus animals as the root of the rumor. Imagine a big top tent collapsing under the weight of an Alaskan blizzard, setting loose a pride of confused and hungry tigers. It's a dramatic image, right? And while there have been documented cases of captive animals escaping into the wild, there's no evidence to suggest they've established breeding populations in Alaska. Another theory revolves around misidentification. Alaska is home to plenty of large, furry creatures. Think bears, wolves, even wolverines. A fleeting glimpse of one of these animals in low light or through dense foliage could easily be mistaken for a tiger by an untrained eye. Our brains are wired to see patterns, even when they're not really there. And then there's the internet, the ultimate breeding ground for rumors and speculation. A single grainy photo or a secondhand account can spread like wildfire on social media, quickly morphing from, "I think I saw something," to "they're everywhere." It's the digital equivalent of a game of telephone, where the story changes with each retelling. Whatever the origin, the persistence of the tigers in Alaska myth speaks to our enduring fascination with these powerful predators in the wild places they inhabit. It's a reminder that even in our hyper-connected world, there are still mysteries lurking in the shadows. Okay, let's talk tiger habitat. These majestic beasts are known for their adaptability, but even they have their limits. Tigers are found in a variety of environments, from the steamy jungles of Southeast Asia to the frigid forests of Siberia. But there's one thing all these places have in common: they ain't Alaska. First off, there's the temperature. Siberian tigers, the largest of all tiger subspecies, are built for cold, but even they struggle when the mercury dips below -40 degrees Fahrenheit, which happens more often in Alaska than you might think. Tigers rely on camouflage to hunt, and a bright orange coat against a backdrop of white snow is about as subtle as a foghorn in a library. Then there's the prey situation. Tigers are apex predators, which means they sit at the top of the food chain. They need a steady diet of large ungulates like deer, elk, and wild boar to survive. While Alaska has its fair share of caribou and moose, these animals are adapted to the harsh winter conditions and aren't exactly easy pickings for a tiger used to stalking prey in dense undergrowth. Finally, there's the issue of territory. Tigers are solitary creatures with vast home ranges. A single male tiger might need hundreds of square miles to hunt and find mates. Alaska is big, sure, but it's also fragmented by mountains, rivers, and human development. Finding enough space to support a viable tiger population would be a tall order, to say the least. So, while the idea of tigers prowling the Alaskan wilderness might make for a good story, the reality is that these majestic creatures are simply not cut out for life in the last frontier. Their survival depends on a complex web of factors, and Alaska's unique environment just doesn't fit the bill. Section 4, MythBusters. Unraveling the threads of tall tales. Now, I'm not here to rain on anyone's parade or tell you what to believe. The world's a big, mysterious place, and I'm all for a little healthy skepticism. But when it comes to stories like tigers in Alaska, it's important to remember that not everything we hear is true. Myths and legends have been around since humans first huddled around campfires, spinning tales to explain the unknown. They often contain a grain of truth, a kernel of observation or experience that gets embellished and exaggerated over time. Think of it like a game of telephone. The story changes with each retelling. In the case of the Alaskan tiger, it's easy to see how a combination of wishful thinking, misidentification, and good old-fashioned storytelling could lead to a persistent myth. We want to believe in the extraordinary, in the possibility of hidden worlds existing just beyond our perception. But here's the thing about myths. They can distract us from the very real wonders that surround us. While we're busy chasing after phantom tigers, we might miss the incredible diversity of life that actually exists in our own backyards. So, the next time you hear a story that seems too good to be true, take a step back and ask yourself, what's the evidence? Could there be another explanation? You might be surprised by what you discover. Section 5, Roaring Through History, Tigers on the Global Stage. To understand why the idea of tigers in Alaska is so far-fetched, it helps to know a little something about their actual history and distribution. These big cats weren't always relegated to the far corners of Asia. Fossil evidence suggests that tigers once roamed a much wider range, from eastern Turkey and Iran all the way to Siberia and parts of North America. However, over thousands of years, their habitat shrunk dramatically due to a combination of climate change, human hunting, and competition from other predators. Today, tigers are found in isolated pockets across Asia, clinging to survival in a world increasingly dominated by humans. From the Bengal tigers of India to the Sumatran tigers of Indonesia, each subspecies has adapted to its unique environment. But they all share certain characteristics: a love of dense cover, a reliance on large prey, and a need for vast territories. These are the factors that have ultimately limited their distribution and made Alaska an unsuitable home. Understanding the historical context of tiger populations helps us appreciate the challenges they face today. It's a reminder that the natural world is constantly changing, and that even the most powerful creatures are vulnerable to forces beyond their control.